So I made some changes. I have some ways based on current SCN, excuse me, wrong window, and sys timestamp to refer to the various states after I put the A in there, after I put the B in there, after I put the C in there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and recover to one of those states. So again, just for reference, if I do select star from PITR test, I get A, B, and C in there. So we're going to pretend that putting the B in there or putting the C in there was something awful we would like to undo. Obviously, it would be trivial to undo, but we're going to undo it in this case through a point-in-time recovery operation. To run that, we're going to run a so-called RMAN script. Here's an example of that RMAN script or something close to it. I'm going to edit this a little bit. So I'm going to go to the RMAN tool. I'm going to execute this guy, and I'm either going to say set until system change number equals a certain value, or set until timestamp is equal to a certain value. And you can see there's kind of a format model established here that begins with a 4-digit year, 2-digit month, etc., 24-hour specification like military time, basically, minutes and seconds, and how I can reset the database to that particular thing. So either of those is an option available to me. Let's go through here. Okay, so what I have to do now to actually run this script is I'm going to shut down the database and then start it up in the mount mode. And you guys have seen that in a couple of other videos. I'll do that from the SQL command line. I'll do a shutdown immediate. And it's taking its sweet time, not so immediate. Feel like I should tell a joke here. I don't know any jokes that are fit for reproducing in this video, so you have to use your imaginations. There we go. Took a little bit of time. What do I do next? My cookbook tells me I want to start up in mount mode. This is what I shall do. So I'm going to go start up, mount, and remember I'm connected to sysdba. That's what I did in the beginning. That's giving me the ability to do these things. If I start up mount, so the instance is created, the stuff in memory comes out, the background processes, and it kind of grabs hold of the data files, it locates where they are, but it doesn't open them for use. Okay, that's good stuff. Okay, so after I have done that, I can go in and run this particular RMAN script. But first, you see I have some optional stuff going on. I can either do the set SCN to a value or set time to a value. Just to keep things simple, I'm going to set it to, I'm going to use the SCN version because that's easier to type out. But you can see that there's a model we can use here to also do it by date. And again, we grabbed the system timestamp at a couple of different points. So let's say I want to set things to the way they were right after I added my B. So I want the B to be there, but the C, I'm really regretting the C. It was a big mistake, etc. So I want to reset things to the timestamp, excuse me, the SCN I'm going to use in this case, that corresponds to, right after I added the B, 901378. So let's remember that value, 901378. I'm going to put this guy in here, 01378. And this is an either or sort of thing, so I'm going to take this guy out for now. I'll just keep him down here in case I need him later. Ooh, I messed that up. Let's get a copy of him again. That's a little better. Okay, he goes down here. Yay. Take off these brackets here that were just not really part of the syntax of the run script. They're just something I put together. All right, so it's going to say, I'm going to set the database to be recovered until the point where we're at a particular system change number. Restore database means I'm going to go grab those data files from my backup set, and I'm going to start positioning those where I need to be, grabbing any logs and grabbing any data files that I'm going to need to. Recover is when I actually say, okay, I'm going to read through those logs and I'm going to apply the changes that would take me to this particular system change number, 901378. Then at the end I'm going to do an alter database open reset logs. This is kind of basically say I'm starting fresh. I'm going to reset the log sequence to number 1. This won't reset the system change number all the way back to 1, but you saw at the beginning when I did the archive log list, there were numbers assigned to the online transaction logs or redo logs. And I'm going to end up with number 1, I believe, after I run alter database open reset logs. So it's going to say, all right, I know what point I'm recovering to. I'm going to go get the data files from the backup set. I'm going to run through the diary of database changes, which is basically those transaction logs. And then I'm going to do an alter database open. And I'm going to reset my logs so I can kind of start fresh. And that will be my new database incarnation right there. So I'm going to switch over to RMAN here. And if you'll remember, RMAN is a tool that I access from the operating system command line. My wife is making fun of me, guys. She always does this when I make videos. If I laugh, it's because she's doing hilarious things. I really wish I could turn the webcam on her so you could see the awful things she's doing to me. All right, so I'm going to try to run this RMAN script here. Paste that guy in here, and boom. I am not connected to Oracle. Oh, okay, that's because foolishly I did a startup and shutdown. So I'm going to exit out of RMAN altogether. Yay, I'll come back into RMAN. Target, just one thing I forgot to mention before. Target, I would ordinarily specify a, my wife is still teasing me. Ordinarily, I would specify with target a particular database to which I'm connecting. Because Oracle XE is a single database Oracle platform, there's basically a default assumption that you are connecting to the default Oracle XE instance on the system. My wife is still making fun of me. This is going on for quite a while. Anyway, all right, I hope I can edit this out, but I probably won't bother to. You guys need to laugh just like I'm having. All right, so I'm going to do RMAN target. Target is just a keyword I need to have in there, but essentially when you leave, like if I were going to set target to something, it would name a specific database. If I just leave the keyword in there in Oracle XE, it knows to connect to the default single database that Oracle XE provides in the system. System in this case is just the name of the user I'm connecting as. So now it's going to prompt me for a password. I run RMAN target system. I have to enter the database password. And again, this is just the same thing you use when you connect system assist DBA or run any of those commands. I'm in again. Hopefully, there we go. All right. And so the database is not open. Remember, we did a startup no mount here. Go back to this guy. I'm sorry, startup mount, which means the data files are not open. RMAN is seeing the same thing, which is good, nice and consistent. Now I'm going to run the RMAN script I put together before. Okay, you can see it's running through some stuff. It's reading from the backup set. It's at the bottom of the screen right now. It's going to take its time doing a few things. I'll probably shut up for a second because I'm probably going to speed up this part of the video. You guys will be able to run it on your own systems and kind of see the nitty-gritty. Actually, no, that didn't take long at all. Okay, great. So the database is currently open, supposedly. Now, I'm going to log out or disconnect from Oracle over here because I probably have to do that anyway. Just connect. There we go. I'm going to connect again. Connect to sysdba just to be safe, but I probably won't need to do it for what I'm doing right now. Okay, I'm connected again. So if this worked the way I would expect, remember I reverted to the system change number that we recorded after I had put the B in PITR test, but not before I had put, prior to putting the C in PITR test. So if the point in time recovery has worked as I expected, when I do a select star from PITR test, I will have a record for A, a record for B, and then no record for C. Let's see if it worked. Boom. Exactly as we expected. Now, I'll show you something interesting. Well, I don't know if it counts as interesting, but it's as interesting as things in the database world get. You might think that I could select current SCN from VDAL or database and end up with what I had put in here. But that's rarely going to be the case. it's not like when you bring, I should say, it's not going to be the case. It's not, even if you're doing a set until a specific SCN, when you open the database, it's not like it's restored things to that particular state, but it's not like the system change number itself gets reset back to that. Set until SCN equals something just basically means make the database look exactly as it did at a particular system change number, but it doesn't necessarily erase, reset the current SCN that you can pull out of $V database. As you can see, it's obviously a different value here. Okay, so the point-in-time recovery worked as I expected. The horrible C is gone. As I promised in the beginning, if I go back through RMAN and I do list incarnation again, you should see a 5th incarnation in there. So let's hope it doesn't make a liar out of me. I do list incarnation. Boom. And you can see there's a 5th one. Started today, the 14th of July, etc. This is the current incarnation of the database. 901378. And what did it start with? 901398. I am not sure offhand, guys. I'd have to look into why the slight discrepancy there. Oracle sometimes munges the reset SCN just a little bit, and I'm offhand not sure of the particular reason for it, but clearly we kind of achieved the goal of getting to a particular state of the data that we tried to get to with our point-in-time recovery. And we've covered the concept of incarnations, etc. So point-in-time recovery is not something you will do often. It is something you will typically do if a user has screwed something up or a process has screwed something up and the database hasn't had a media failure per se, but you don't like what happened after a certain point in time and you would like to revert the database to the way it was at a given moment because things that happened afterward were undesirable and you'd like to lose record of those things. All right, in the next couple of videos we'll be looking at logical import and export and also using Oracle's flashback facilities. Thanks for your time.